private and public university. He took Babcock University. And in Babcock University he was given admission to come and study computer science. I can't remember whether it's computer science or computer engineering. I think it was computer science. Computer science. Okay, Babcock University, and I wanted to go and pay. Also in the university to come and study medicine. Of course, I wanted him to study something. Mommy wanted him to study something. Both of us were very foolish. We wanted our son to become what we liked. We never bothered to ask what God wanted for him. We didn't even ask the boy himself what he wanted. Maybe we are the father, we are the mother. We are the one that we pay. So what concerns him? So we didn't ask the boy. And the boy said, okay, you want me to edit? So which one do you want me to do? Of course, mommy's will prevailed. Wanted him to be a doctor. And the boy got there. We never knew that our son hates and dread dead body. You know? We didn't know that he hated and that he dread dead body. And you know that dead body, those are the toys that medical people play with every day. They don't call it dead body, they call it cadaver. So they will always say they are going to cadaver room, they are going to cadaver room. Every time our son was going to the cadaver room, he felt like dying. He felt that their mother wanted to kill him. He was always sorrowful, he was always very sad. And people will bring a report. What's wrong with your son? You know, what is wrong with your son? And we ask him anything, say, Daddy, no problem. You want me to do doctor? You want me to be a doctor? I'm going to be a doctor for you. Okay, and he moved from part 1, moved to part 2, from part 2, moved to part 3. When he got to part 3, it was clear that himself and medicine. And that was the first time I had I said, what exactly do you want? He said that you should have asked me that question before. If you had allowed me to go for the computer center, I would have even been better. I want to be a scientist. I said, why didn't you tell us before? He said, I wanted to be a scientist. And he changed to science. And he started doing extremely well. He started doing extraordinarily well. He finished his first degree and he traveled out to continue in science. Training. When he was graduating, he graduated with distinction, even overseas. And he was given the best, the best student in the university. And from there, they recommended him for one of the best, biotechnology school in the world. They recommended him and he went there. And when he was graduating as a doctor, as a PhD holder, the university declared him as the best scientist. One time my wife and I would travel out, and as we were entering into the College of Life Sciences, we didn't know anything. We just entered into the faculty, and there was television everywhere. And it was mommy that looked at the television first, and they were just beaming his picture and beaming his name and showing him everywhere in the whole of the place. The best scientist, the best scientist, the best scientist. We were shivering. And somebody, they went and told the professor that the parents of the best scientists are the professor came to greet us. My head swelled. I said, thank God that we did not make this boy what God did not plan for. May you not become what God has not made you. May you excel in your life. And when he started his career, he started moving from one place to the other, moving up and moving up and moving up and moving up. And God was just promoting and lifting up. And you know what? With all the great things and everything that God is doing, it was so easy for him. Because he was living to fulfill his destiny. One of the mistakes we make, especially in this part of the world, is that we want to make ourselves, our parents, our children what we like.
Àṣìṣe kásàbà máa ń ṣe ní wípé afẹ́kí ọmọ dantá afẹ́ kó dà.
That's one of the mistakes of our generation.
Afẹ́kí ọmọ dantá afẹ́ kó dà.
I want my son to be a lawyer.
I want
my son to be a doctor. I want my son to be a pharmacist. I want my son to be an engineer. Yeah, it's good for your son to be a lawyer, an engineer, a doctor, everything. But is that the plan of God? How many of you knew and understood that Jesus never attended primary school? Do you know that? Do you know that Jesus never attended primary school? And all the doctors in the book of Luke chapter 5. If you look at the book of Luke chapter 5, you know that there was one day Jesus went there. Look at what Luke chapter 5, and we read from verse 17. And I want every one of you to open that Luke 5:17, because there is something that God is teaching every one of you tonight. And it came to pass on the certain day, as he was teaching, that there were Pharisees and doctors of the law sitting by, which were come out of every town of Galilee and of Judea and of Jerusalem. And the power of the Lord was present to him. Who were the people there that day? Doctors of the law. The chief real estate of Galilee. Men from Judea, men from Samaria, people from the capital city Jerusalem. If the Bible was written in Nigeria, and if it took place in Nigeria, it would have been that people came from Abuja, they came from Kaduna, they came from Lagos, they came from Abuja, they come to hear Jesus. I want you to know that in those days, in the days of Jesus, in the days of most of those philosophers, knowledge is worship, knowledge is adored. They worship knowledge. That's why men like Aristotle, men like Socrates, the world celebrates and honor them, because those were not those who impart knowledge and purpose. The world honors them. Listen to me very well. Let me pray a prayer for you. May your will not prevail in your life. May the will of God prevail in your life. I didn't know that until years later in my life. You know, I always pray, Lord, make me this. Lord, no, Lord, I don't want you to make me what I desire. I want you to make me what I've determined. That is one of the things I want you to know today. There is a determinate counsel of God concerning your life. When Jesus came, you know what the Pharisees said? They said, how come this man, where did he get this knowledge? Because he never learned, he never attended school. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes, all of them together, they came to Jesus, asking him different questions. All of them were confounded, because you know their testimony. They said, never spake a man like this man. Never spake a man like this man before, because he was not speaking from the terrestrial dimension. He was speaking from the celestial dimension. With the view of God, with the mandate of God, with the purpose of God, with the counsel of God for his life. When I married mommy, she had a vision. You know, she was doing a master's when we married. She started when we were engaged, okay? And then she had a master's. She told me she had a desire. She wanted to become commissioner of education. How was it? So I used to call her commissioner of education. Commissioner. She wanted to become commissioner of education. Our friend, our colleague eventually became commissioner of education. Somebody very close to her. One of us, you know, somebody from the same department became commissioner because she became pastor and she couldn't become commissioner again. God took her life. I told mommy one day, she said God had taken away her vision. She wanted to become commissioner. That was why she did her master's and did her PhD. Okay, and somebody, one professor looked at him one day, looked at her one day and said, called that boss. He said, with your PhD, you will be carrying the Bible all around. be following your husband. He said, no, I'm not following my husband. I am fulfilling my destiny. I'm fulfilling my vision. May you live to fulfill your destiny. May you live to fulfill your vision. Whatever you make yourself, that is not what eternity will remember you for. It's what God has made you. Whatever you do by your own way, whatever you do by your own place, I like to be. Stop it. I don't want to know what you like to be. Find out what God. Do you know that your life is a misery? Write it down. Your life, every life is a misery. Okay, it's what you were not there when your life was packaged. You were not there when your destiny was packaged. You were not there when God proposed the details of your life. That's why the Bible said that we may know the things that are freely given to us by God. You need to search for it and find out what the mind of God is concerning you. Stop abusing your life. Stop taking yourself for granted. Okay? Stop taking your life for granted. Stop looking down upon yourself. One day, in our school in Roya, our children graduated from Roya, and one day our son brought one of his friends to the house, and he told me, said, Daddy, I'm not going to sleep in the house today. I said, why? He told me I'm going to sleep in my friend's house. I said, which friend? I said, like, you're not going to sleep. I don't allow my sons to sleep anywhere. And I said, I want to see that your son, and he brought the boy. He treated me very well. And the boy prostrated. I said, what's your name? He told me his name. I said, you should be good boys. Today, they are best of friends. Are you getting what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest doctors in U.S. today. One of the greatest consultants. An international doctor. But is as much as our son as our direct biological son. Are you getting what I'm saying? So important to us because he got his destiny through our son. You don't know what God is going to do in your life tomorrow. You don't know the details of your future. Okay? The parents of John, they should have reminded him the purpose of his birth. They asked John one day, who are you? Are you Elijah? He said no. Are you Isaiah? He said no. Are you Jeremiah? He said no. Are you, who are you? And he said, I'm the voice of the one that cried in the wilderness. Prepare the way of the Lord. Make his path straight. John knew his mission. I am the voice of one that cried in the wilderness. Prepare the way of the Lord, make his path straight. He spoke to the people, the mind of God. But John did not follow through. Did not follow through the plan of God for his life. You know? At the point he started doubting Jesus. And he sent a message to Jesus one day. I think in the book of Matthew chapter 11. He was asking Jesus, are you the one to come? Or should we look for another one? You know, that was one of the saddest days in the ministry of Jesus. Okay. You know, he was asking, are you the one to come? Or should we, should we look for somebody else? And Jesus began to ask them, what do you go to the wilderness to see? A reed that is shaking here and there. What do you go? Jesus called him a reed. Yes, a reed that is blown here and there. What do you go to the wilderness to see? A man. Jesus said, truly I say unto you, more than a man, a prophet, more than a prophet. That was what Jesus told them. He said, if you do not know, that is Elijah to come. He has come. You know, he has come and he has fulfilled his mission. And Jesus dropped a bombshell. He said, let me tell you, of all that is born of a woman, there is none greater than John the Baptist. One of the things I want you to discover tonight is that you carry three things. You carry life. You carry life. You carry purpose.
ẹ gbé ète Ọlọ́run.
You can call it purpose. You call it assignment. You carry purpose. You carry vision. You carry assignment. You can call it.
ẹ lè pè ní iṣẹ́ tàbí ète.
Okay. The first thing you carry is life.
ohun àkọ́kọ́ tẹ́ gbé ní iye.
The second thing you carry is vision, purpose, assignment.
ìpinnu iṣẹ́.
Number 3.
ìkẹta tí ẹ gbé
You
lórí.
carry the future
ẹ gbé ọjọ́ ọ̀la yín
of
lé.
many generations.
fún àwọn ìran tí ń bọ̀.
You carry the future of many generations.
ẹ gbé ìran ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìran tí ń bọ̀. ẹ gbé lórí.
ọjọ́ iwájú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìran.
ẹ gbé.
Listen to me, everybody look up here.
ẹ wò kèémí.
Today,
lónìí,
as I was preparing for this meeting,
bí mo ṣe ń gbáradì fún ètò
as
yìí,
I opened one of my diaries,
bí mo ṣe ṣí ìkan nínú
it
ìwé tí mo
was
kọ sílẹ̀,
this pamphlet I saw.
ìwé ìléwọ́ yìí ni mo
How many of
rí.
you can remember this
ẹ̀yin
thing? This
mélòó lẹ lè
pamphlet?
rántí ìwé ìléwọ́ yìí?
Groundbreaking service of the Glory Land International Conference Center of the Jesus is Lord Foundation International on the 8th of January 2023.
ìsìn
How many of
àkọ́kọ́
you
tí a
remember
ṣe ní
that?
Glory Land
How many of you
ní
attended
ọjọ́
that meeting?
kẹjọ oṣù
How many
kìíní.
of you remember where
ẹ̀yin
that
mélòó
meeting
lẹ
held?
rántí
Point to the
nígbà tá a
place
ṣe
there.
nígbà tá a ṣe ètò yìí níbẹ̀ yẹn.
That day,
ní ọjọ́ yẹn,
when you were in that
ní
place,
ọjọ́ yẹn nígbà wà ń bẹ̀
can
yẹn.
you believe that beside that place where we are, there'll be a mighty hall like this there? How
jẹ́
many of you can
ronú
believe
wípé
it?
lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ bí tá a
How many of you
dúró
can
ṣé
believe
irú ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì báyìí lè wà ń
Within
bẹ̀.
1 year,
Láàrin
it
ọdún
was
kan.
last year, we were there.
ọdún tó
In
lọ
the
la wà
bush.
níbẹ̀ yẹn nínú igbó.
So many palm trees.
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀pẹ ló wà
Where
bẹ́ẹ̀.
are the palm trees
àwọn
of
ọ̀pẹ
those
yẹn wà dà
days?
báyìí.
There was a hill there. There was a valley there.
òkìtì ọ̀gbẹ́ kan wà níbẹ̀ ọ̀gbẹ́ kan wà níbẹ̀ hàn dà.
Where are the bushes? Where are the trees
àwọn
of
igbó
those
àti
days?
igi àwọn yẹn dà.
Hear me.
ẹ gbọ́ mi.
The angels of God are coming to clear your life.
áńgẹ́lì olúwa ó ń bọ̀ apalẹ̀
It will bring
ìdọ̀tí
forth
ayé mímọ́.
beauty.
wọ́n mú ẹwà wá.
It will bring forth
ó
glory.
mú ògo wá.
It will bring forth
ó mú
purpose.
ètí ọlọ́run wá.
Beauty, glory, purpose.
wọ́n mú
Those are the three
ẹwà
things you are carrying.
ẹwà
Beauty,
ògo
write it
ẹwà
down. Glory and purpose.
Àti ète.
Beauty, glory,
ẹwà
purpose.
ògo
You are
àti
carrying
ète.
it. You are ignorant. You are not aware.
gbogbo nǹkan yìí là á mọ̀.
And because you are not aware, how do you
Nítorí bá àmọ́
expect
bá
people to
gbé
say what
sórí
you don't know about yourself?
ìdí
Sit down
nìyí
and
tẹ́
hear
fi
the word
mọ̀
of
pé
God.
kẹ́ mọ̀ nípa ara
You
yín.
don't know it yourself.
ẹ mọ̀
You
fúnra
don't
yín.
know it.
ẹ mọ̀.
Do you
ẹ
know
mọ̀ pé
that I stood that day when I was preaching? I stood upon the altar that day.
Mo dúró lórí pẹpẹ
Remember,
lọ́jọ́
and I
náà.
began to prophesy.
Mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sàsọtẹ́lẹ̀.
And I began to say that God is going to build it.
Mo sọ pé
When
Ọlọ́run
I
ó
was
kọ́
saying
ilé.
it, I was speaking from another world.
nígbà
I
tí
didn't know what I was
mo
talking about.
sàsọtẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn inú ẹ̀mí ni mo ti ń sọ.
It made no meaning to me because I had no plan.
kò túmọ̀ sí nǹkan kan sí mi
I
tó yẹ
was
kò ní
just
ètí
like,
ní
it's
ìpinnu
just
kankan.
like you
Wọ́n
know.
dàbí
If you
ìwọ
go to this loudspeaker,
Tẹ́ ẹ
you
lọ
go
síbi
inside this loudspeaker to
amóhùnbúgbẹ̀mù
see
yìí.
what I'm saying. Will you see anything there?
bẹ́ẹ̀rí kankan bẹ́ẹ̀.
That was it. I was just like a loudspeaker
èmi
that
kàn ń
day.
sọ̀rọ̀.
The vision
Lọ́jọ́ náà
of what
ni.
I was talking about,
ìran
I didn't
ọlọ́run
have
tí
the
mò ń sọ nípa rẹ̀
understanding.
kò
I
yé mi
didn't have the
dáadáa.
depth of what
ní
I was
ìtì
talking
ìmọ̀
about.
kúlẹ̀kúlẹ̀ tí mò ń
That
sọ.
was January 8th last year.
inú ọdún ní
It was
oṣù
on the
kẹjọ
4th of
ọjọ́ kẹjọ
March.
oṣù kìíní
January, February, March. 3 months.
ní oṣù kẹta rẹ̀
And 3 days later.
Àti
3
ọjọ́
months
mẹ́ta.
and 3 days after
oṣù
that
mẹ́ta
day.
ọjọ́ mẹ́ta
You
ọjọ́ yìí.
know, that was when the word of the Lord came
Ní
to me
ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run
overnight.
wá sọ́dọ̀ mi.
And God began to speak to me
Ọlọ́run
about
sì
the
bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí
future of Glory Land.
nípa ọjọ́ ọ̀la.
And he began to tell me about what
Glory
is going to
Land
happen in Glory
Ọlọ́run
Land.
sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ tí ó
And
ṣẹlẹ̀.
he told
Ó sọ fún
me,
mi.
I want you to start the
mo
building
fẹ́ kó
now.
bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ́ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì
And
yìí.
I said, start what? What
mo
are you
ní
saying
kí
we should
ni ẹ̀
start?
ń sọ
Start building.
Ọlọ́run kí ni.
I don't have money. What I don't
lówó
have.
Ọlọ́run ò lówó.
And God told me,
Ọlọ́run wá sọ
my
fún mi.
work does not depend upon the money you have.
iṣẹ́ bí odò olórí
I
owó
will
tó
provide
tiẹ̀ ní
for
èmi ó
myself.
pèsè fún ara mi.
You go ahead and do
wọ́n sá
it.
tẹ̀síwájú láti
I
lọ
didn't have
ṣe.
enough faith to tell mommy was sleeping
mi ò
by
ní
my side.
ìgbàgbọ́ tó tó láti sọ fún mọ́mí
Throughout the night
nípa
I
rẹ̀.
couldn't sleep
Ní ilé
again
sùn.
because it has become a big burden, a
nítorí
big
pé
vision that was battered in my
ó ti
spirit,
jẹ́ ẹrù wíwo ní ọkàn
and
mi.
there was heavy vision. It became a
jẹ́-
driving force that cannot be stopped.
ó jẹ́
At
eléyìí
a point,
tó ń tì mí gbọ̀ngbọ̀n tí
last
lè dá
year when we were
dúró.
building the Glory Land,
ní ọdún tó lọ nígbà tí à ń kọ ibi.
There were times when by 6 o'clock in the evening.
Ìgbà mìíràn ní aago mẹ́fà ní ìrọ̀lẹ́.
I want to get to glory land.
Nǹkan mọ̀ sọ pé mo fẹ́ wá sí glory land.
What are you going to do in glory land by 6 o'clock? I said I want to get there now. And she knows. She say okay, wait, let me go and take my scarf upstairs. And she quickly jump into the car because she didn't know. She wouldn't say, you this man, what is it? At one point she said, you are behaving like a drunken person. I was drunken of the vision of God. The vision was pushing me like anything. Nothing meant anything to me. And nothing scares me. The price of gold. When they tell me the price of cement has increased, it was not a news in my ears. When they say the price of iron rod has increased, it didn't bother me. When they say the price of clinical didn't mean anything. I'll just thank God, Pastor Lai, Pastor Ken, both of them are here. I'll just I call them at 10 o'clock in the night. I said tomorrow go and do this. They say ha. I say ha what? They say okay sir. Sit down sirs. God bless you. If they didn't have faith, they would have had hypertension. Because some of the things I tell them to do. I said go and tell that man to supply 100 bags of cement. You say when will we pay? I said that is none of your business. I use the cement seller. Go and tell the man to supply 100 bags of cement. Go and meet the man. And the man will supply. Not knowing when we are going to pay, time will supply. I'll call Pastor K. I said, go and call the tipper man. At a point, we confiscated the tipper of one man. We told him, you will be supplying tipper. He will supply sand, and the sand will break, the tipper will break down. You know? And it was like that. And building started growing. See how many buildings grew last year. And see the ones growing this year. I don't know what is still going to happen this year. And I don't know what is going to happen next year. You know, I think the way God is working, it's like a misery. Within the past 2 or 3 months, God has given us extra land. You know, those of you who are pastors, you were here last. Was it this month? When we had the pastors meeting here, how many of you attended the pastors meeting? When was that? Can you remember the date? When? Is this month now? On the what? On the 2nd. Do you know that after we finished, when you came that day, we went to inspect some land. Wait, do you know that after we have inspected the land you came from, we have bought another set of land? You know that? After that, they just came to call us, there's another land somewhere up there. And they took us there. And we bought. I didn't even tell anybody. God provided the money. Gave us the money. Pastor Kenny will say, Daddy, where are we going to get the money? I said, did God borrow money from your great grandfather? Whatever doesn't bother God should not bother you. God does not depend upon anybody. Hear me and hear me well. God can use a person to do his work. God can use a family to do his work. God can use a nation to do his work. Are you getting me? God found a family, the family of Abraham. Do you know that the whole of the nation of Israel today is only one family? How many of you know that? It's only the family of one man, Abraham and Sarah, that formed the nation of Israel. Sarah. And Abraham gave birth to Isaac, and Isaac gave birth to Jacob. Abraham gave birth to one child, and Isaac gave birth to two. Isaac and Esau and Jacob. And you know, out of the two, you expect that God say he has only 2 children. And God announced, I love one, I hate one. He said, Jacob and I love one. Esau, I hate him. And God said, Esau will become Edom. And I'm going to make his generation a desolation. When we go to the land of Israel, I asked them, I said, where is Edom? They took us to the land of Edom. It's a desolation. Nobody there. Because God said, I'm going to make the house of Israel with no inhabitant. You carry the future in your life. You carry the future in your womb.
Ọjọ́ ọ̀la wà nínú yín.
You are more than a man. Tell your neighbor, I am more than a man.
Ẹ ju ọkùnrin tẹ̀rù pé jẹ́ lọ.
Tell your neighbor, I am more than a man.
Ẹ ju ọkùnrin tẹ̀rù pé jẹ́ lọ.
Mo ju ènìyàn. I'm more than a man. You are a misery. Your life is a misery.
Ìjìnlẹ̀ láyé yín.
And that's what I've come to do today. I've come to expose yourself. I've come to reveal yourself
Mo fẹ́
to you.
ṣípayá sí ilé ẹ̀tẹ̀ jẹ́.
A lot of members of the church are misbehaving.
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló ń ṣìwáhù.
Boys, they are misbehaving. They want to behave like they are friends.
Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe bọ́ọ̀rẹ́ wọn ṣe ń ṣe.
Everybody wants to have a boyfriend. Everybody wants to have a girlfriend. You can't do it.
O lè ṣe.
When I was growing up, God told me I need your life.
Nígbà mo Ọlọ́run sọ pé mo nílò ayé rẹ.
I couldn't have a girlfriend. I wanted to have a girlfriend.
Mo fẹ́ ní akùnrin obìnrin
abánidẹ́ṣẹ̀. In fact, I want to look for a girlfriend.
Mo fẹ́ mọ owó.
I told the girl, I said, I want to be your boyfriend.
Mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ abánidẹ́ṣẹ̀.
Okay, he said, okay, I'm going to think about it. I'll give you an answer next week.
Mo ní ìdáhùn lọ́sẹ̀ tí ń bọ̀.
And you know, between the time she said she was going to give me an answer and the other thing,
kó tó dìgbà tó lówó fún mi ní ìdáhùn mo ti dé ní àtúntí.
When she told me Monday, I said, I have an answer for you. I told her I don't need an answer again. She said, you don't do what? You don't want an answer, you are joking. Because of you, I've gone to break my boyfriend. I've gone to break my relationship with my boyfriend. I said, so you had a boyfriend. I thought you were a good girl. I was looking for a good, innocent girl.
Obìnrin tí o tọ́jú aláìlẹ́ṣẹ̀.
Because I was religious before I was born again.
Nítorí mo jẹ́ ẹlẹ́sìn kó tó di pé mo dàtún bí.
I said I thought you were a good girl.
Mo ní mo rò pé obìnrin rere obìnrin dáadáa ní àṣẹ.
Okay. And I told her I cannot marry her again. She became very angry. She went and reported me to the mother.
Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ fi mí sùn.
And in the family they were members of Celestial Church.
Àwọn òbí ẹ̀ sì jẹ́ ará Sẹ̀lẹ̀.
The mother sent for me.
Ìyá rẹ̀ ránṣẹ́ sí mi.
That boy Francis, I want to see him. People said don't go, don't go. They will kill you. I said I was born again. I was very confident. Very bold. I went there. Greeted the mother. Hello, good evening, ma.
Hello, yeah.
So person said you're looking for me. He said yes. Are you Francis? I said yes. He said that you are bold enough to say that. I said, mommy. Yeah.
Why
did you tell my daughter you don't want to befriend her again? I said you are not married. She has not even given me an answer. He said, born again what? You have to marry my daughter whether you marry. I said, is it compulsory? Is it compulsory? He said it's compulsory. If you don't marry her easily, you will marry her by force. I said, Mama, you are going too far. I'm born again, I cannot have a girlfriend. She said, I will lighten 16 channel lights. They call it Atupoloju mẹ́rìndínlógún. She said that was the first day I had it in my life. She said, Atupoloju mẹ́rìndínlógún fún mi, wọ́n máa wọ ẹtì ni. I said, Mama, don't try it. My defender is strong. You will kill yourself for nothing. The second week, the lady told me that her mother was the lady, the girl. She saw me and said, Francis, I feel wrong well. I said, what happened? She said her mother was paralyzed. You know the mystery of life. One of the sons of that woman eventually started a bank in Nigeria. There was nowhere they didn't carry that woman. She never got healed. She died of her paralysis. Mommy knows the girl I'm talking about. And herself died mysteriously. She died, her mother died. Do you know that God can give a whole nation because of it? He can kill and destroy a nation. God said, I sent to Babylon because of you. And I brought down all their nobles and great people. One of the problems with many people is that they don't know themselves. Don't know themselves. They don't know they carry anything. You carry the beauty of the future. You carry the glory of the Lord. You carry the purpose of God in your heart. But you know one of the most mysterious things is that 3/4 of the people that God called, they die with the vision and the assignment that God gave unto them. They never fulfilled it. Never fulfilled the purpose of God for their lives. And that's what God said. He said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed. God called them his people. They are destroyed. you will not be destroyed.
ẹni parun.
It's important every one of you should understand
ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀.
just our case is like the case of one man, you know, affecting destinies of people.
ọ̀rọ̀ wa dàbí ẹnìkan tó jẹ́ pé ó nípa nínú àyànmọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn.
God called Abraham.
Ọlọ́run pè Abrahamu.
From Abraham he called Isaac. From Isaac he called Jacob. From
Abrahamu
Jacob he called the 12 patriarchs.
lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ ló pé àwọn èèyàn 12.
Some of you don't know that God is making you enigmas. God is making you patriarchs.
ẹ mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run ń sọ yín di
You don't know
ẹni
that
tí ó
some
tó
of
pé
you,
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀
God is
èèyàn.
making you great.
Ọlọ́run mú yín
Hear
jẹ́
me.
gíga.
Out of you, your biological children,
Nínú àwọn
they are going to be extremely rich.
ó lówó jaburata.
You don't believe it.
ẹ gbàgbọ́.
Look at them sitting
ẹ
down.
wò bá ṣe jókòó.
Your children, out of your children and your grandchildren,
nínú àwọn ọmọ yín àtọmọ ọmọ
will
yín.
come great
àwọn èèyàn
multi-millionaires.
tó lówó jaburata wọ́n máa jáde
Richard
bẹ̀.
and Otedola, Richard and
àwọn
Adenuga,
Richard
Richard
Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá
and Dangote.
tó ń lówó ju
Hear me.
Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá
The wealth
lọ.
of the future
ọrọ̀
will be
ọjọ́
more than
iwájú.
that of the past. Write that down. The wealth coming,
ọrọ̀ ọjọ́ iwájú
the
tí ń bọ̀
wealth
yìí.
that is coming,
ọrọ̀ tí ń
is
bọ̀
more
lọ́jọ́
than
iwájú yìí.
the wealth of the past.
ó pọ̀ ju ọrọ̀ eléyìí tó ti wà ní àtìwá
God is the
lọ.
one bringing the wealth that is coming.
Ọlọ́run ló mú ọrọ̀ tí ń bọ̀ yìí bọ̀.
Okay? And He's going to give it to the
yóò sì
church.
fi fún ìjọ.
Your sons and your daughters.
àwọn ọmọ yín ọkùnrin
My sons and my
àtòbìnrin.
daughters.
àwọn ọmọ mi ọkùnrin
Our
àtòbìnrin.
sons and our
àwọn
daughters.
ọmọ wa ọkùnrin
They'll be
àtòbìnrin.
the inheritors of the coming wealth.
wọ́n jẹ́ àjogún ọrọ̀ tó
Your
bọ̀ yìí.
children, my children,
àwọn
our
ọmọ yín
children will be very
àtọmọ
great.
yín wọ́n máa jẹ́ ẹni tó
Write it down. They're
lágbára.
going to be very great. I'm
wọ́n jẹ́ ẹni
prophesying.
tí mo ń ṣe
Your
àsọtẹ́lẹ̀
future will be very great.
ọjọ́ ọ̀la yín máa dára
You
máa
will not
tóbi.
die poor.
ẹ ní kú gẹ́gẹ́ bí
Nobody
aláìní.
here will die poor.
kò sẹ́ni tí ó kú gẹ́gẹ́ bí
Nobody
atálíkà.
will die here
kò sẹ́ni
frustrated.
tí ó kú nínú
You are going to be
àìní.
celebrated.
ẹ ó jẹ́ni tí
God will honor you.
àjọyọ̀ rẹ̀.
God
Ọlọ́run
will
ó kọ́lá
help
fún
you.
yín. Ọlọ́run ó ràn yín lọ́wọ́.
God will strengthen you.
Ọlọ́run ó fún yín lé okun. yóò
If
fún
you
yín.
feel sick or you feel
ẹ
as
bá
if you
rò pé
are
ara
getting weak,
yín ọ̀yá tàbí wípé
I want to tell you that sickness is not unto death.
àìsàn yín kì í ṣe
It's
lójú
that
kú
the
o.
name of the Lord should be
Bí
glorified.
orúkọ Olúwa kó ríbi
So if
káyìn
you are
lógo
sick,
ni.
come for healing.
Tí ara yín ò bá yẹ wá fún ìwòsàn.
There is balm in Gilead and there are physicians there.
Òróró wà ní Gileadi fún
Stop thinking
ìwòsàn.
about death.
Ẹ má ronú
Then
nípa
remove
ikú.
death from your vocabulary.
Ẹ mú
Write it down.
ikú
Every
kúrò
one
nínú
of you,
ọ̀rọ̀
remove
yín.
death online
Ẹ
of
mú
ground.
ikú kúrò
Remove
nínú
death
ọ̀rọ̀
from
yín.
your
Ẹ mú
vocabulary.
ikú kúrò nínú ọ̀rọ̀ yín.
Some of you will say kojukulo,
Àwọn kan sọ
kojukulo.
pé the end is death.
Why do you want to die?
Kí nìdí
Who
tí ẹ
is
fi
going
fẹ́
to
kú?
bury you?
Ta ni ó bò
You know how to
ìmọ̀lẹ̀?
bury
Èmi
anybody.
ò mọ bá ṣe bòyàn mọ́lẹ̀
And
o.
there is nobody that will die
Kò sí
here.
sẹ́ni kankan tí ó kú bí.
You will live well and live long.
A ó gbé pẹ́, a ó sì
If
gbé
you
dáadáa.
want to die by the time you are not less than 90, 100, 110, then you are
Ẹni
going
tó
to
bá ṣe
die.
tán láti
We will
kú
give
ní
you befitting burial.
àádọ́rùn-ún
Okay?
tàbí
In fact,
ọgọ́fà.
by the time you clock 90,
máa lọ.
100, we begin to celebrate. We begin
Ìgbà
to
yìí la ó
have
ṣe
that money for
àjọyọ̀
your
ikú
future
yín.
celebration burial. Okay? You will be buried like kings and
A ó
nobles.
sìn gẹ́gẹ́ bí
Do you remember when Jacob died?
Ǹjẹ́ mo gbà tí Jacob kú?
When Jacob died,
Nígbà
they
Jacob
wait
kú.
for him for 70 days. They buried him like a king.
Wọ́n sìn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọba.
All the chariots of Pharaoh carried him.
Gbogbo àwọn
When you are now, when we are going to
Fáráò.
heaven, we'll go in glory.
Àwọn yẹn ló
We are not going to heaven in shame and in
lọ sí ọ̀run
weakness.
nínú ìdójútì.
Ẹgbẹ́ lórí ẹgbẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, that will not be our story.
Carry his head and his
We
leg.
will,
That
we
will
will
not be
go
our
to
story.
heaven in glory,
A
in
lọ
strength, in
sí
the
ọ̀run
power
nínú
of God,
ògo, nínú agbára
in
Ọlọ́run,
wealth, in
nínú ọrọ̀,
wisdom,
nínú ọgbọ́n,
in
nínú
abundance,
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀,
satisfaction. In the name of Jesus.
ìtẹ́lọ́rùn ní orúkọ
Hear
Jésù.
me.
Ẹgbọ́n mi.
You will be abundantly satisfied.
A ó tẹ́ yín lọ́rùn dáradára.
Everything that is called good in this world, you are going to have it.
Gbogbo tó bá ti pè ní rere
Hear me
ní
right
ayé ẹ̀ ó ní.
And you begin to have it from now. Everything that is called good, if it is good, you are going to get it.
Ohun tó bá ti jẹ́
God
pé
will give
dáadáa
you.
ní rere ni ó ní.
Your
Ọlọ́run ó
children,
fún yín.
God spoke to me, spoke
Ọlọ́run
to
bá mi
me,
sọ̀rọ̀, ó bá
spoke
mọ́
to
mi sọ̀rọ̀, ó bá wa
us. He said,
sọ̀rọ̀.
I
Ó
will
ní
pay your people in their children.
èmi yóò
That's what God
ìsàn
said.
fún
God
àwọn
said he's
ọmọ
going
rẹ̀
to
ó fi
pay
ọmọ
you in
rẹ̀
your
sọ fún àwọn
children.
ọmọ ẹ̀.
That's why you're going to discover
Nígbà
God is
àwọn ọmọ
going
rẹ̀
to
sọ
open
fún
a
ọ.
lot of great doors for your
Níbi tí
children.
Ọlọ́run ó fi
They
ṣe
will
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀
get
ilẹ̀kùn ńlá
favor.
fún àwọn ọmọ
Favor of
yín
God,
àtọmọ
favor
wa.
of men.
Wọ́n rí
God will take them high. God will make them great. They will not be your children again. They're going to become your friends. Your children are going to become your friends. They're going to love you to the end. Nothing can drive a wedge between you and your children. Lord will preserve you. But your children are not your properties. You didn't make them. Okay, it's God that is going to make them. So you must drive your children straight and closer into the hands of God. Drive your children to the bosom of the Lord. Remember the case of Jacob? When Joseph brought his two children, Ephraim and Manasseh, brought the two of them to the presence of his father. And Jacob was a prophet. Couldn't see physically, but he could see spiritually. And he asked them, who are these? And Joseph said, these are my children that are born unto me in this land. He said, bring them to me. And when Joseph was bringing them, he brought the firstborn Manasseh to be in his right hand, Ephraim to be in his left hand. And it took them the hands of Jacob. But there was a divine, mysterious, mathematical work. You know, when Jacob was going to receive them, he crossed his hands like this. Everybody do like this. Like this. That was the way their father. Jacob crossed his hand. The firstborn who was in the right hand, he used the left hand. The other one, the younger one, laid his hands upon him. The Bible says, and Joseph was angry. And he told his father, my father, don't put your right hand upon the second. Put your right. The father said, I know all your peace. Your firstborn is also going to become great. But I tell you, the junior one will be greater than him. And he said, in Ephraim and Manasseh shall Israel be blessed. And he put Ephraim before Manasseh. Don't arrange your children according to the chronological age. Who told you is older? Who told you is older? Who told? I called my children one day. I said, I don't know who is older amongst us. They started laughing. They didn't understand what I was talking about. Okay? You know, when John saw Jesus, you know John was 6 months older than Jesus, Abi? And saw him and he told the people. He said, this man you see, he said, his going forth is from the everlasting. He has seen before me. I'm not even worthy to untie the latchet of his shoe. No, your importance, your age is not counted by the day you were born in this world. That was the day you started existing. Do you know you had existed before you came to this world? I said you had existed in heaven with God. You had existed as a spirit. 600 years before Jesus was born, Isaiah began to prophesy. In Isaiah chapter 9, he said, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of his peace there shall be no end. Zechariah called his name Emmanuel. He said, unto your land, O Emmanuel. The land they are fighting over in Jerusalem, in Israel, is not the land of Israel, it's the land of Emmanuel. It belongs to Jesus. And Jesus is coming as the future king of the world. He's coming to take his land. Give it to the Palestinians, give it to their Western their time. The owner is coming. He will take his land. Jesus is going to step upon the Mount of Olives. And the Mount of Olives will cleave into two. One to the highest seat, the other one to the former seat. And he's going to sit as the King of Kings upon the Mount of Olives. Upon the Temple Mountain. That's where Jesus is going to reign. That's where he's going to set his throne forever and ever. And he will rule over the nations with a rod of iron. The nations may not like it, but they cannot stop it. Hear me well here tonight. In your life, in your life, as you stand there tonight,
dìde dúró
the life of God is flowing.
ìyè Ọlọ́run ó sàn náà
Allow it to flow.
ẹ jẹ́ kí ìyè Ọlọ́run kó
The
sàn.
life of God,
ìyè Ọlọ́run
the power of God is flowing in your life. Allow it to flow. Allow the life of God to
ẹ jẹ́
flow.
kó sàn.
The Bible says, "Don't give any place to the devil."
Bíbélì sọ pé ẹ má
Sit
ṣe
down.
fi àyè kankan fún èṣù.
It's a prophetic meeting tonight. Allow the grace of God to flow in your life.
ó jẹ́ ìpéjọpọ̀ àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ lónìí ẹ má ṣe fi àyè kankan
You
fún èṣù.
have a mighty role to play. You have a great assignment
ẹni
to play.
ipa láti kó.
You have a very great assignment.
ẹni iṣẹ́ ńlá láti ṣe.
You have a very great assignment
ẹni iṣẹ́ ńlá láti ṣe láti mú ṣe ní ayé yìí.
to fulfill.
ẹni ipa ńlá láti kó ní ayé yìí.
A very, very important role to play.
ipa tó ṣe
In
pàtàkì
this
láti kó
ministry,
nínú
God is
iléeṣẹ́
blowing the
ìránṣẹ́ yìí.
trumpet.
Ọlọ́run ń fọn ìpè.
Okay, it's blowing a trumpet.
On
You
point
see
two.
us scattering to different dimensions,
ẹ rí bí a ṣe ń lọ sí
Some
oríṣiríṣi
people go
ibi.
this way, some
àwọn
people go
kan
this
lọ
way, some
síbi àwọn
people
kan
go
lọ
this way.
sọ́hún yẹn.
You're going to be shocked what God is going to do
yóò
within
yà
our
lẹ́nu tí
ministry
Ọlọ́run ó ṣe
within the
nínú
next
iṣẹ́
1 to
ìránṣẹ́
5
yìí.
years.
ní àárín ọdún kan sí márùn-ún.
Some of you won't know this ministry
àwọn kan ò ní
again. You
gbá
say, "Is
ìdá
this
iléeṣẹ́
guy
ìránṣẹ́
here?
ìmọ̀
Bó ló ṣe
pé
ṣẹlẹ̀?"
jẹ́ alẹ́ ìbèrè.
God will surprise you.
Ọlọ́run ó yà wá lẹ́nu.
The extent to which God will use some of you, you just be wondering.
ìpà tí Ọlọ́run ó lò wá
Some of
dé
you become very
ẹlòmíì
great.
yóò máa yà wá
Many people
lẹ́nu.
will know you.
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ó mọ̀ wá.
Your name will become a household name. Okay? So it's very important you
ó ṣe
position
pàtàkì
yourself
kí ẹ
well.
fi ara yín sípò tó dára.
Don't look
nínú
at
Ọlọ́run.
today. Don't focus.
ẹ má wo tí ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn.
Some of you, when you see Glory Land, the only thing you say we have a building there. Wait, who told you
ta ló sọ fún
that
yín.
this hall we have built here, we are not going to pull it down? Who told you? Who told you there will not be a 16-story building in this place? Who told you?
aládàdé
Who told you there will not be a 24-story building here?
aládàdé
With
ilé
different
aládàdé
people. Who told you
mẹ́rìnlélógún.
that? Wait, do you know what is going to happen?
ìjẹmọ tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ bí.
God will glorify Himself.
Ọlọ́run ó fi ògo fún ara
What do we
rẹ̀.
call this place?
kí la pè bí.
You know, one day God told me,
jẹ́ mọ̀ pé ọjọ́
He
kan Ọlọ́run
said,
sọ
"I am
fún
the
mi.
King of Glory Land."
èmi ni
One day I
ọba
announced it. How many of you heard it the day I announced
ẹ̀yin
it in the
mélòó lẹ
church?
gbọ́ nígbà mo kéde
God
rẹ̀.
told me.
Ọlọ́run
He
sọ
said,
fún mi.
"I'm the
ó ní
glory of
èmi
Glory
ni
Land."
ògo
I
ilé
don't know how many of
ológo.
you saw the picture of Lagos in 1960.
ẹ̀yin mélòó lẹ rí àwòrán
In 1960,
Èkó
if you get to Victoria Island, there was no Victoria Island.
kò sí
In
tó ń jẹ
1960, there
bẹ́ẹ̀.
was no Victoria Island.
1960 kò sí
Èbúté
tó jọ mọ́. Èbúté
Mẹ́ta and
Mẹ́ta.
all those are the Surulere. Those are the
Surulere.
real place
ibi
in
tá a lè pè
Lagos.
lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nìyẹn.
No marina. Nobody's
Kò
talking
sí
of marina.
marina.
It was like a bush.
Ó dàbí igbó.
Area. Those are the
Igbó.
things that was a bush.
igbó náà
Dankara
wà ń bẹ̀.
was there. And God began to transform it. God
Ọlọ́run
began
bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí
to
yí padà.
transform it.
Ọlọ́run yí
White
padà.
people started coming little
àwọn
by
èèyàn
little.
funfun
Things
bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí
started
dé.
changing.
àwọn òyìnbó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dé.
I was watching a film of Banana Island
mo ń wo
yesterday.
àwòrán banana
You know why they
island.
call it Banana
ṣé
Island?
àmọ̀dé tó fi ń pè
Because it's
banana
an
island.
island that was. It wasn't an island that God created.
torí
It
kì
was
í
an
ṣe
island that man
island tí
created.
èyí tọ́lọ́run
They
dá èèyàn lọ́dà.
sand-filled it.
Wọ́n-
It was part of the Lagos Lagoon. They sand-filled
wọ́n
it.
lé omi
And
sẹ́yìn
they
ní.
sand-filled it and it come like this,
wọ́n
like
fi
the
yanrìn
picture of
lé omi
banana.
sẹ́yìn ní. ó wá dàbí ọ̀sẹ̀.
Okay, a plot of land in Banana Island today is a billion,
plot
not
kan
million.
bílíọ̀nù
A plot,
náà
one plot of land in Banana Island.
plot ilẹ̀ kan ní banana island.
One friend
Billion
of mine
ni.
bought a plot of land
ọ̀rẹ́
in
mi
Banana
kan
Island. He
ra
bought it 1
plot
billion.
kan 1
And he told me it
billion
has
lọ́ra.
become 2 billion. I don't know how many
wọ́n sọ fún mi kó
billions
ti
it
di
is today.
bílíọ̀nù méjì báyìí àmì
Okay.
ìta báyìí.
Last week,
lọ́sẹ̀ tó lọ.
they were dedicating a building in Banana Island,
Wọ́n
built by
fi-
one of the millionaires in
wọ́n fi ilé
Nigeria,
kan jì
Adenuga.
fún Ọlọ́run tí
You know how
Adenuga
much he spent to
kọ́
build that
Jẹ́
building?
mo lè
100
tọ́kọ̀.
billion naira.
100 billion naira.
Not 100 million. No. Did
He's a-
you hear what I
he's a
said?
one- he's a million
He
lọ́nà
used 100 billion naira. I was watching the building. I was
bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà
watching.
bílíọ̀nù
And they were showing the whole of Banana Island.
ọgọ́rùn-ún.
Showing the whole of Banana Island. Mommy and I were in Banana Island last year.
èmi àti mọ́mí wà
Moving
ní
there.
banana
You
island
can't
ní
move there. You
ọ̀sẹ̀ tó-
can't enter. You followed us. Yes, you followed us to Banana Island.
ẹ ti
You
ilẹ̀kùnlẹ̀
can't enter the place without.
dédé
You
wọ
must
bẹ̀.
have a coded name before you
ẹ
can get
gbọ́dọ̀ ní
there.
orúkọ
Wherever you are, you
sẹ́ńdámọ̀
can't get to the
ẹ
place.
lè dédé lọ síbẹ̀.
Hey, your name will be named among the greats.
láàrin àwọn èèyàn ńlá láti
Write
máa
it down.
dárúkọ
Don't just
yín.
say amen.
ẹ
Write
má
it
sàmì
down.
lásán.
Write the vision.
Ẹ kọ síbẹ̀
You will
yẹn
be.
ni.
You wait. The portions of the great.
Ìpín àwọn èèyàn
God is
ńlá
going to give you a portion among
yóò
the
jẹ́
great
tiẹ̀
people.
láàrin àwọn èèyàn ńlá. Ọlọ́run máa fún ọ ní
Ọlọ́run
ìpín
máa fún yín
tiẹ̀.
ní ìpín láàrin àwọn èèyàn ńlá. Ó máa fún yín ní ìpín. He's going to give you a portion among the great. And because of what God has said,
Nítorí tí Ọlọ́run ti
I'm
sọ,
going to tell you 7 important things you
wọ́n
must
sọ
quickly
nǹkan
do.
méje tó
Number
ṣe
1,
pàtàkì. Nǹkan àkọ́kọ́,
receive and embrace the vision of God
ẹ gbà
that God has given us in this house.
ẹ gba ìrántí Ọlọ́run fún wa nínú iléeṣẹ́
We are a
ìránṣẹ́ yìí.
people called together,
A pè wá papọ̀ ní.
united together by one thing.
Tí nǹkan
That
kan
is the vision
nǹkan
of the
kan ló
ministry.
so wá pọ̀ náà ní ìran
Don't
iléeṣẹ́
promote
ìránṣẹ́
your
yìí.
individual vision. Don't promote your individual.
Má
What we are doing in this
má
place
gbé
is not
ète
my
rẹ ga ju ti ìrántí Ọlọ́run fún wa iléeṣẹ́
not
ìránṣẹ́
the
lọ.
plan of Francis and Grace.
Kò ń
This
ṣe-
is beyond human being.
Kò ń ṣe ète
This
tàbí
is
èrò
God in
èmi àti mọ́mì.
That was why God introduced himself to me.
Ìdí nìyí
He
tí
said,
Ọlọ́run fi
I
fi ara
am
rẹ̀
the
hàn mí
King
pé
of glory land.
èmi ni ọba ilẹ̀
I'm the
ológo
glory
yìí.
of glory land.
Èmi ni ògo
He
ilẹ̀
said,
ológo
I'm the
yìí.
glory of glory land.
Èmi
the
ni
King of
ògo
glory.
ilẹ̀
Jesus is
ológo
the
yìí.
glory of glory land.
Ó ní
Okay.
ògo ilẹ̀ ológo yìí.
So it's very important for every one of us to
Ó
begin
ṣe
to see that.
pàtàkì láti rí i.
Receive and embrace the vision.
Gbà á kẹ́sì kó mọ́ra.
The vision concerning your future.
Ìran tó ní
The
ṣe
vision
pẹ̀lú ọjọ́
concerning
ọ̀la
your coming
yín.
generations.
Ìran tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn
Can you begin
ìran yín tó
you know
bọ̀.
what?
Jẹ́ mọ̀
You know
pé-
one thing that God said concerning
Jẹ́ mọ̀
Jesus?
kan tí Ọlọ́run
He
sọ nípa
said,
Jésù.
he will see the travail of his soul
Ó ní
and he
yóò
shall
rí
be satisfied.
ìrora ọkàn rẹ̀ yóò sì tẹ́
When
lọ́rùn.
Jesus think of the pain
Nígbà
and the
tí
things he suffered
Jésù
on
tó
the
ronú àwọn
cross,
nǹkan tó ń là kọjá ní
and
orí
he sees me,
àgbélébù,
and he sees
ó
you,
sì rí bí ó
and
rí
he sees
yín,
you,
ó rí
and you
gbogbo
kneel
wa,
down,
a
and you roll
kúnlẹ̀,
on the floor,
a sì bẹ̀rẹ̀
and
sí
you
nílẹ̀.
know, God, Jesus is excited.
Inú Jésù
He said,
dùn.
I'm happy, Father,
Pé
that
inú
I
mi
died
dùn
for
pé
Francis and for
mo kú fún àwọn
Janet
èèyàn
and for
yìí.
Dorcas and for
Mo
Tim
kú
and for
fún
Titus and for
àwọn èèyàn
Gabriel.
yìí.
I'm happy I died for
Inú mi
them.
dùn pé mo kú fún
Gideon
wọn.
and Daniel. I'm happy I died for them.
Mo dúpẹ́
They
pé
are
inú mi dùn
bringing
pé mo
glory
kú
to
fún
me. And you know the glory we are bringing to him is an eternal glory.
Ògo eléyìí tí a
Every
fún
day
Jésù
we
ní
worship him.
ògo ti láéláé
All of
nígbàkigbà
us
tá a
in
bá
this
ti
ministry,
yìn.
we worship the Lord in the
Gbogbo wa
beauty
tá a bá
of
ti
holiness.
yìn dáyìn Ọlọ́run
God is
nínú ìwà
excited.
mímọ́ rẹ̀.
God is
Inú
happy.
Ọlọ́run dùn.
God is happy because we are worshiping
Inú
in
Ọlọ́run dùn
truth, in
nítorí
spirit
pé
and in truth.
à ń sìn nínú
We are not
nínú
worshiping
ìwà
God
mímọ́.
because we have money or
àti nínú
because we are
ẹ̀mí.
eating.
Ìṣe pé torí pé à ń jẹun
We are not
lẹ́sìn.
worshiping God because we have money or
Ìṣe
maybe
torí
we
pé
are
à ń
worshiping God
lówó.
because
À
God
ń
is
yìn
God.
torí pé Ọlọ́run ni.
God is excited about
Inú
us and we
Ọlọ́run
are very
dùn nípa
excited
wa.
about God.
Àwọn
God is the
inú
focus
Ọlọ́run
of
náà
our
wà náà
life.
dùn nípa Ọlọ́run.
And that is the second thing I want to tell you.
Òkejì,
Change your focus.
ẹ yí àfojúsùn yín padà.
Make God your focus. Make him your dream.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí Ọlọ́run ó jẹ́
Make God
àfojúsùn
your
yín.
goal.
Ẹ jẹ́
Make
kó
God your
jẹ́- ẹ
pursuit.
jẹ́ kó jẹ́ ntẹ̀ntẹ̀ lé ìlépa yín.
Hey, don't make God your focus. Don't make money your focus.
Ẹ má jẹ́ owó jẹ́
Don't
àfojúsùn
make
yín.
people your
Ẹ má
focus.
bẹ̀yẹn sí àfojúsùn
Don't
yín.
make your daddy, your
Ẹ
mommy,
má
your
jẹ́
brother,
bàbá
your
yín,
sister, your
ìyá
friend.
yín,
Don't make
arákùnrin,
man
arábìnrin.
your
Ẹ má jẹ́
focus.
kí wọ́n jẹ́
Don't
àfojúsùn
even
yín.
make me your
Ẹ má
focus.
jẹ́ kémi gan jẹ́ àfojúsùn
Make
yín.
Jesus your focus.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí Jésù jẹ́
The
àfojúsùn yín.
vision he has committed into our
Ìran
hands.
tó ti fi lé wa
Don't see
lọ́wọ́.
that what our daddy in the Lord said I should do. It's not your daddy in the Lord that said you
Ìṣe
should do.
tí
It's the
dáàdi wa
Lord God
nílò
of your
Olúwa ní
daddy
ká
in
ṣe
the Lord that said
ṣùgbọ́n
you
tí
should do.
Ọlọ́run dáàdi wa ní ká ṣe ni.
Okay? So this is not man's work.
Kì í ṣe iṣẹ́ ènìyàn
Don't handle
lélẹ́yìí.
it with levity.
Ẹ
Don't
má jẹ́
handle
àfọwọ́
it
yẹpẹrẹ
carelessly.
mú. Ẹ má jẹ́ àfọwọ́
If you have
gbẹ̀fẹ́
anything
mú.
to do in the house,
Bàbá
you
ní
do it with
òkùnkùn
all
láti
your
ṣe
heart.
nínú ilé Ọlọ́run. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe pẹ̀lú gbogbo ọkàn wa
You
kó lọ
spend
sí
your
rí.
money. Mommy and I,
Èmi àti mọ̀mí
we stop
mọ́mí.
having private account. Every money we have, you just take it.
Gbogbo owó tá a bá ti ní là ń lò
Pastor
fún iṣẹ́
Fede will say,
Ọlọ́run.
Daddy,
Pastor
why are
Fede
you
sọ
pouring
pé,
all your
Kí
money?
nìdí tẹ́ fi ná
I
gbogbo
said,
owó
it's not my
yìí?
money, it's
Mo ní kì í
God's
ṣe
money.
owó mi, ọwọ́ olówó Ọlọ́run ni.
And we don't even write it down.
Àsì kọ́lẹ̀.
We just keep on pouring it
Àkànnà
and keep
náà
on
ni
pouring it
à
and
ń ná- à
keep
ń
on
dà
pouring.
à ń dà á sí i.
It's very important every one of us
Ó
to
ṣe
understand
pàtàkì gbogbo wa ní òye
that
yìí.
because it's a corporate vision,
Nítorí wípé ìran
you
àjọpọ̀
should be
ìran
an
ni.
encouragement to other
Ó fi
people.
ẹ̀kọ́
Write
jẹ́
it
ẹni
down.
tí ó
That's the
mú
third
àwọn
challenge.
ìlọ́kàn le.
You should be an encouragement. You should be a
Ó
blessing.
yẹ kó jẹ́ ìbùkún.
Mind what you say.
Tó bá kíyèsí tó bá ń sọ.
Jesus said, whoever make one of the least of these people to fall,
Pé àwọn
it is
ẹni
better
tó bá
they
mú
put a heavy
ẹni tó bá
stone
mú
on your neck
kékeré
and they
nínú àwọn
throw you.
èyí tó bá mú
into
ṣubú.
the depth
Ó
of
ní
the sea.
ó sàn ká so
Don't
ọmọ lọ
speak
sí
any
lọ́rùn
word
ká
that
so
can
sínú omi
discourage
lọ.
anybody. Be
Ẹ
an
má jẹ́
encouragement.
kí a domi tútù sí ọkàn àwọn èèyàn.
Every Everybody in this ministry is very important.
Ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan nínú iléeṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ ló ṣe pàtàkì.
There is no branch of this ministry that is more important than another branch.
Kò sí ẹ̀ka kan nínú iléeṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ tó ṣe pàtàkì.
Our branch in Oyere, our branch in Kinkiyu, in
Ẹ̀ka wa tó wà lókun tó wà lọ́yẹ̀rẹ̀.
our branch
Wọ́n
in
ṣe
Lagos,
pàtàkì bí ẹ̀ka wa tó wà
in
lẹ́kọ̀ọ́
the
tó wà ní olúyẹ̀ àjọ wa ní London.
are springing up in Canada and
Àti
America.
àwọn míì tí ó tó ti hù jáde.
Are you getting what I'm saying? Every branch, everybody, whether you are educated or you are
Bọ́yẹ̀
not
kàwé
educated.
tàbí ẹ̀kàwé ẹ̀ ṣe pàtàkì.
Before you came, I told people.
Kó tó di pé ẹni mo sọ fún.
I was telling Jesus didn't go to primary
Jésù
school.
ọ̀lọ́ primary ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́
So
ayé
don't say,
ẹ̀kọ́
àwa ò mọ̀wé. Èyí tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀wé yẹn God is going to use for
gbogbo
his
ẹni tí
glory.
ọ̀mọ̀wé Ọlọ́run ó lò ọ́.
There was a woman in this ministry.
Obìnrin kan wà lè ṣe ìrìnsẹ̀ ní
We
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀
call
ọdún sẹ́yìn.
her Ìyá Ìta Ọ̀sà. Mama Ìyá Ìta Ọ̀sà.
À
How
ń
many
pè
of you
ní
know that woman?
ìyá Ìta Ọ̀sà.
You remember Mama Ìyá Ìta Ọ̀sà?
She came from
Okay.
Ìta Ọ̀sà.
That woman,
Obìnrin náà
she
obìnrin
never
yẹn
attended primary
kò
school.
lọ
She
sí
never
ilé
knew how to
ẹ̀kọ́
read.
ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ kò mọ̀.
She came from
kò mọ̀
Ìlọrin.
kò mọ̀ ká Ìlọrin ló ti wá.
She knew Kew. She didn't know the Bible. She never knew
Kò
when she
mọ̀
cannot
Bíbélì
read
kò
anything.
lè ka nǹkan kan.
Jesus appeared to her
Jésù farahàn.
and taught her how to read.
Ó sì kọ́ bọ́n ṣe ń kàwé.
And she started reading.
Ó sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kàwé.
And she was doing very well.
Ó sì ṣe dáadáa.
We posted her to Ìta Ọ̀sà.
A gbé wọn lọ sí
You
Ìta
know,
Ọ̀sà.
and she was pastoring one of our churches. We had a church
Wọ́n ṣe
there
olùṣọ́
before the
àgùntàn
war.
níbẹ̀ kó tó di
You know,
gbogbo
and she
bẹ̀rẹ̀.
was doing very well.
Wọ́n sì
One
ṣe
day,
dáadáa lọ́jọ́ kan.
she called me.
Wọ́n pè mí.
She said she wanted to marry another husband.
Wọ́n ní àwọn fẹ́ fi ọkọ
I
mìíràn.
said, for what?
Mo ní
You want to
fún
marry
kíni?
another husband? And I
Wọ́n
said,
fẹ́
that's
fi
the
ọkọ
devil that
mìíràn.
wanted to take you away. We spoke, she didn't listen.
A sọ̀rọ̀ kò gbọ́ o.
And she said, because this and everything. We were asking the children.
À ń bi àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ léèrè.
I saw the children, one of them called me last year.
Ìkànnì
Was it
ọmọ
last
wọn
year or
pè
early
mí
this year? I
ní
said,
ọdún tó
"Where's
lọ
your
tàbí
mother?"
ọdún yìí pé
He
ìyá
said their
yín
mother
kọ́.
was dead.
Wọ́n ní
They
ìyá wọn ti
didn't
kú.
even see the dead body.
Wọn kàn tí ẹ̀ rókù ẹ̀.
Didn't see the dead body.
Wọ́n rí òkú ẹ̀.
Whether she was kidnapped or something.
Bóyá wọ́n
like
jí gbé lọ
that, just
ní.
got lost.
Kàn déédéé rí mọ́ náà ni.
When she checked her focus.
Nígbà tí ó yí
You
ìgbójúsùn
know what
ẹ̀
it means
tó
for
yí padà.
Jesus to appear to somebody?
Ǹjẹ́ mọ́
Say
tó
that I
túmọ̀
want
sí
to
kí
use you.
Jésù kó wá
She said
farahàn
she
èèyàn kó
was
sì
looking for a
kọ.
husband.
Ó wá ló ń
She met
wọkọ̀.
one tattered useless man.
Ó wá lọ fẹ́
And,
ọkùnrin
release
kan
her body and
tí ò
started
dá
messing up
ọkùnrin kan.
What's the end? Nobody knew anything about
Òpin
it.
eré ìje ẹ̀ náà
You
nìyẹn.
have only one life to
Ó ní
live.
ìgbésí ayé kan láti
And I
gbé.
think I've told you enough to make you to understand that
Mo
that
ti
life
sọ
is
fún
very
ọ
important.
tó.
Your life carried life. Your
Ayé
life carried
yín-
generation. Carried
Ayé
great
yín ó
destinies.
gbé àwọn
Out
èèyàn
of your
nínú
life
àwọn
will come
èèyàn
great
gíga.
men and women.
Nínú
You
ìhà
may
yín
not be
ní
a
àwọn èèyàn
doctor, but
ńlá
you're going to be the
jáde.
mother of many
Bẹ́ẹ̀
doctors.
kẹ̀sí ẹ̀ di dókítà oníṣègùn
You may
òyìnbó,
not be
ọmọ
a
yín
millionaire, but you're going to
dókítà.
be a father and mother of many millionaires. They
Lè
are
má
coming.
jẹ́ millionaires
And
náà.
they will be